I'm Eshkalar. I'm the world's greatest Canadian wizard, as opposed to magician, because magicians aren't wizards. They're prestidigitators. They fake you out. They don't do real magic. They do fake magic. That's for children. Boogies, beaners, people who like to be alone. And all those guys are boogies, beaners, people who like to be alone. Eshkalar is always right, and I never lie, which doesn't mean necessarily that not wrong. Or am not with the double negatives. Whatever. Anyway, I'm going to talk today about martial arts. And I'm going to tell you something that'll make you all feel stupid. Because that's my deal. First I feel stupid, and then I transfer. It's called transference. Look it up. Talk to a psychiatrist. It's a real thing. Now that I learned how stupid I was, I got to push it on you. Make you feel bad. And that's the way the world works. If you want it to change yourself. Be a role model. All those people that say you boomers are crazy because role modeling isn't real. You're the idiots, not the boomers. Role modeling is real, both positive and negative role modeling. Ask a freaking psychiatrist, not a game designer. God. So anyway, I want to talk about the fighting arts today. Yeah, you call them the martial arts because somebody didn't know what he's talking about. Call them the martial arts. Everybody says, hey, let's follow the ass of the horse in front of us. They're martial arts. Martial means military. It's a Latin word. It means military. And boxing is not a military art. Neither is karate. However, bivouac order is, marching order is, scouting and screening are, logistics. Those are the martial arts. The arts a general needs to know. That's what martial arts are. Karate, boxing, frying pan fu, bang, the great equalizer. Those are the fighting arts. Understand? As opposed to the martial arts. The martial arts are things that men do in giant groups, militaries. The fighting arts are things that men do by themselves, struggling in the dust, trying to choke each other, poke your eye out. That's right. And probably the greatest fighting artist, the sun source of karate as we know it today, was a guy named Funakoshi. If you haven't read his book, then you have done yourself a disservice. If you are a fighting artist, a karateka, a kung fuka, whatever you call it, right? If you are a wrestler, if you are a jiu-jitsuka or judoka, a swordsman, and you haven't read Funakoshi's book, I highly recommend that you do read it because he teaches you a lot about the fighting arts, the philosophy of the fighting arts. Something that your teachers don't teach you. Because if they did, they wouldn't teach you what I'm about to reveal is wrong. Breaking bricks, breaking boards. I can't do that anymore. My hands burn all the time. But anyway, breaking sticks, breaking bricks, breaking boards, breaking rocks, right? Okay. That's how we prove, look, I'm a 7th degree black belt because I can break this many boards. And I'm a 3rd degree black belt because I can only break this many boards. Oh yeah, well I'm a brown belt so I can break this many boards. That's all a bunch of bullshit. Literally bullshit. Breaking things to prove your fighting arts competence is a complete red herring. In other words, it's lies and bullshit. And the people that teach you that are liars and bullshitters. And you want me to be wrong because you love these people. And that's called a cult of personality. And I'm going to explain exactly what I mean right now. And if you don't get it, then you don't get the fighting arts. You can't be taught judo or karate or boxing even. Here we go. There was a man named Funakoshi. He was the sun source of all karate. All modern karate today directly draws its lineage from Funakoshi and his 4 fellow students that came to Japan in the early 1900s. That's right. True story. Look it up. It's real. And Funakoshi had something very important to say about karate. that he had learned from his teacher, who had learned from his teacher. It was a lineage hundreds of years old, and it didn't come from Okinawa. It came from China because, according to Funakoshi, who is the expert, Shaolin came across to Japan through Okinawa, where they called it Shorin. Imagine the Japanese getting the L wrong. Never. Yeah, it's a thing. So anyway, Shorin is how the Japanese would say Shaolin. Do you get it now? Yeah. And Funakoshi said that Shaolin, well, that Shorin-ryu in Japanese, meaning Shorin style, is Shaolin style. Just the Japanified way of saying it. In other words, regionalized. Like you do with an anime by putting it in English and taking out the titties. Yeah, it's called regionalizing. So anyway, and Funakoshi had some things, serious things to say about the martial arts in his autobiography. Read it. I urge you to read it. If you think you're a martial artist and you haven't read Funakoshi's autobiography, you have done yourself a grave disservice. If your teacher has not admonished you to read it, then your teacher is seriously out of whack. Get it? Karate whack? Forget it. This is the A material, people, and it's brilliant too. That's the hard part, is it's brilliant. Nobody gets it. So, Funakoshi said, do not break boards, do not break sticks, do not pound your fist into hard objects. Those things are for carnivals. They aren't for karate. Read Funakoshi. So all you guys that think that you measure how good you are by what you can break are completely wrong. You're not karatekas. You're not fighting artists. You're just guys following the philosophical ass of the horse in front of you who doesn't know any better than you do. So you're going around in a circle. Oh yeah, let's break stuff. Kids break stuff. Let's break stuff. Let's break stuff. And the guy that taught you your karate, taught your teachers their karate, is saying, don't break stuff. None of you hear it. None of you, because your teachers didn't carry that forward. They didn't carry the most important teaching in all of karate forward to you because they didn't think you were important enough, or they didn't think that it was important enough. They didn't believe in what they were teaching. Nothing worse than a teacher who doesn't believe in his or her subject. Nothing worse. Because the time to discover your teachers are wrong is after you get out of school. And you're like, oh my gosh, I was an idiot and I was listening. That's right, it's part of the maturing process. Discovering what a boneheaded mistake you made, buying into what people say before you check for yourself. True story. Wait, it sounds harsh. It sounds harsh. I'm applying the same thing to myself. It hurts. Doesn't it? It hurts to know you're wrong. It hurts to know you've done boneheaded things simply because it was easier than using your brain. And I'm a guy that's supposed to use his brain, so it's doubly embarrassing to me. You can all point fingers at me and go, ah, ha, ha, now. I won't hear it. But you'll hear this, ha, 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 you're all wrong too. So here we go. Funakoshi says, don't break bricks, don't break sticks, don't break boards. This is not how you measure your advancement in karate. It's literally what he said. If you don't believe me, go read his book. And rewrite the karate that you've been taught by a guy who wasn't a master, or else he would have known this very simple rule. Okay, that's all I had to say. I have more to say about other stuff later. You can imagine. I never stop talking. And I'll talk about firearm safety later, because that's something else I'm an expert at. I've thrown a few fireballs, you know. And I'll talk about other misnomers and misconceptions in the martial arts and fighting arts universe, simply because I know it'll piss people off. And as long as I'm pissing people off, this is important now. As long as I'm pissing people off, it means I'm still alive.